Okay, good morning once again. I'm sorry our Zoom meeting was cut off because my computer hung. So as I was saying, the objective here is to learn and to understand that when you're creating documents in R, it's best to put your RMD or your R project, your R, whether it's Quarto, which we'll discuss in the future, Quarto document or Quarto presentation, to put it inside an R project. Okay, so how do you do that? As I mentioned a while ago, you start with File and then New Project. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that now because of some problems with I'm not sure if it's R or RStudio, but you just follow the. It's a very easy process to follow. Okay, so you can create a new folder, you can save it in your desktop, and once you do that, okay, you can name it FinArts, which is our subject, and later on inside we can create another folder inside that one. So that's what I did here. So this is the project which I created, FinSAR K31, and inside it are several folders. Okay, and these are the lessons. Okay, in my previous classes. All right. So what's important for us now is, okay, let me pause for a while. Is that clear, class? Yung instructions na yun? Okay, how many among you were able to do that? You created a folder, you can name it the name of this subject. And then I want you to create another folder there. Inside that folder, you can create, let's say, multiple linear regression, because that will be our first lesson. Okay, just a yes or no, please. I don't expect you to have created that now, but I'll be delighted. Yeah, thank you. If you were able to do that. I will appreciate if you say no, so that I know if there are some students who are not able to do that. So please don't be ashamed to say no. Okay, thank you, Christian. Okay, so far may isang no, no? All right, for those who were not able to create the project yet, ganito na muna tayo, ano? What you create now first is an RMD, no? Tapos saka na lang natin, when you have learned how to create the project, you can insert the RMD file inside that R project. Okay, so what I'm saying is this. So suppose you created a project. Ang project nyo is the name of the subject. Kunyari, ito yung name ng subject na create nyo. Pag click nyo yan, class, you will find this R project. Okay? And then you can create folders inside that. You can put inside this project RMD files, okay, or files. You can put Word file, okay? You can put a PowerPoint file, etc. And it's inside this project. Okay, so yun ang gusto ko munang gawin nyo, no? For those of you who were not able to create the project. In the interest of time, and then later on na lang, you can try to create the project and then put the file that we're creating now inside that project. Okay, is that clear? Christian, clear by instructions? Christian, clear ba siya? Okay, sige. Thank you. So, unang gagawin muna natin, for those of you who were not able to create a project, create muna kayo nito, no? Here, go here, and then let's create an R markdown. Okay, if I create an R markdown, okay, so here you'll be asked, ano yung title ng R markdown nyo? You can write here introduction to introduction to multiple linear regression. Then you can put the date there. And then let's first create yung default, yung HTML file. Okay? Okay. And then it will create a new RMD file. So this is an R markdown file. And if you are watching the videos or read the materials dun sa Unit 1 natin, you will know that there are 4 window panes here. Apat, no? First is your script window. Script window natin to. And then the environment window. And then here is your console. And then here is your files, plots, and packages. Now, for those of you who are using R for the first time, mapapansin nyo na magkaiba tayo class ng interface, no? Magkaiba tayo ng interface. Most probably yung console nyo andi dito. Okay? And then yung environment nyo andi dito. Upper right. Tapos yung files nyo andi dito. Okay, there's a reason why I prefer that the console will be on the upper right. And how do you reposition? How do you reposition the files, the windows here? Okay? How do you reposition it? So, tingnan muna natin yon. We go to tools here. Sa tabs dito, andito si tools. Okay? And then global options. Tools and then global options. If you click this, okay, lalabas to. No? Alright, pag mabilis ako class, sabihin niyo ako kung masyadong mabilis yung instructions ko. Tools, global options, and then here, you can find here several choices, general, code, console, appearance, and then you have here pane layout. Okay, pane layout, we can click this one, pane layout, and what you'll find here is the current position of your pane layout. Sa akin, andito si source, environment, si console, files. Now, as I said, if you want to put console here, okay, kunyari ang sa inyo yung console nyo nasa ilalim, which is the default, you can change this. And then how do you put console here? Click nyo lang to, tapos hanapin nyo si console. Okay, so mag-change na yan ng pane layout. Okay, now, for some of you might prefer yung console andi dito, no? It's a matter of personal preference. Sa akin, mas gusto ko yung console andi dito kasi when we write codes here in the code chunk, in the source window, nare-reflect yung code chunks na yan dito sa console. So para sa akin, mas gusto ko nakita ko din dito yung code, no? Kaysa dito sa ilalim. Okay, so that's just a personal preference. And I don't know for my students before, I think most of them also preferred this setup. Okay, but you can try. Experiment nyo muna, ilagay nyo muna yung console dito. Tapos next time, ilagay nyo naman yung console dito. Tapos tingnan nyo kung anong mas maganda para sa inyo. Okay, then you can also change the appearance of your RStudio, your RMD. Okay, here. You can click this. And then here you can see, you can set the zoom, you can set it to be 100%. Okay, you can choose the editor. Okay, you can choose the editor font size, the help panel font size, and then yung editor theme. Iba-iba, no? So you notice I chose Cobalt. It will give us a bluish background with white text. There are others here, ambience. Ito yun, black and white. Chaos, black also. May chrome din na white naman. No? And then clouds, white then, cloud midnight, black. And for me, I prefer cobalt. So again, it's up to you. It's a matter of preference. Meron pang iba dito. So I leave you to class to choose for yourself whatever font or appearance you want for your computer. Okay, so I'll press OK now. Apply natin. Okay. All right, let me pause for a while. And paki-chat nga please kung nakakahabol so far. May I know if you're able to follow along? About the others? Okay, thank you. I really appreciate you giving feedback. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's proceed. Now, when you open an RMD file, okay, let's distinguish first between an R script file and an RMD file. Okay, let's open an R script file para alam natin, no? Ito yung unang-una. So the shortcut is Control Shift N. You can click this keyboard no Control Shift N, or you can just click this R script. And you notice, class, pareho lang naman yung interface, di ba? Andito din sa R script, andito si environment, si console, at saka si files. Okay, so this is an R script. Okay, R script file. And you notice na ang kaiba niya dito sa RMD, si RMD, meron tayo ditong text, no? Meron tayong tatlong dashes. And then you have here your title, author, date, and output na HTML. Okay? Plus, you also have here, okay, meron tayong code chunk dito. This is called a code chunk. And a code chunk is composed of this 3 backticks. And here is a parenthesis, okay, curly brackets, R setup, may nakalagay na text dito, pag-aaralan natin mamaya, and a bracket here, and then my code dito, and then to close the code chunk, okay, may 3 backticks. All right? Then when you open the RMD file a while ago, merong default dito na na text, no, at saka mga codes, which we will discuss in a while. Dito sa R script class, wala tayong makikitang ganun. Nothing here. Okay, so that's the difference between an R script and an R markdown file. Ito, R markdown. R markdown, which is this one, and R script, which is this one. Okay. Now, if you're writing a code in an R script, for example, 3 plus 10, okay, 3 plus 10, and then how do you load this? Okay, Control Enter. Okay, what happened, class? Control Enter, 3 plus 10. You notice that yung pinasok natin na code dito sa script, pumasok din dito sa console. Okay? So all the codes that we put here in the script window will also be passed onto the console window. Tapos nakikita natin yung result andi dito. No? The result will not be placed in your script window, but only in the console window. That's what happens with an R script. Ngari, e to the 10. Okay? E to the 10, Control Enter. All right. Yan. Exponential to the 10, e to the 10. This is the number, no? This is the result. Log of 58. Okay? Log of 58 is equal 4.06. Now, sige nga class, let's just have a quick exercise. Either use your calculator or use Excel. Hanapin niyo yung log 58. What answer will it give you, class? You may unmute yourself or, okay, thank you, Mary. 4.06. Saan to? Sa ano? Sa Excel din? Mary, kindly share your answer to everyone.
I entered it via the R script, sir.
Wag R script sa Excel or ano?
Okay.
Excel or calculator. Yeah. Pag nag-answer yung class, paki-share sa lahat. Yan. Thank you, Queena. Thank you, Raul. Thank you, Abigail. All right. So, sa Excel, pag kinuha niyo yung log 58 or sa calculator niyo, 1.76. Sa R, 4.06. Bakit magkaiba, class? Bakit magkaiba? So, this is one thing that's important for us to know even at this point. Bakit kaya magkaiba yung log sa R kaysa yung log sa calculator o sa log sa Excel? Now, the reason is, si Excel class, ang default niyan, pag nag-log, pag gumamit kayo ng log, okay, tinan nyo yung code ng ano. Okay, so let's write log, open parenthesis. Makikita yung base dito, x, and then base is equal to e to the first power. Now for R, okay, yung functional log, so log of the number x, ang base niya is e to the first power. If you recall sa algebra nyo class, pag kumuha kayo ng log, okay, usually the base is equal to 10, no? So, ang sabi sa atin, ang syntax ng log sa R will be, open parenthesis, i-define natin yung number, and then i-define mo rin yung base. Okay? So here, I'm going to define the number 58, comma, and then base 10. So this is what happens in Excel. Pag kinuha natin log 58 sa Excel, ang base niya 10. Okay? Control Enter. There. That's where you got this, yung 1.763. Sa R class, pag kinuha natin yung log, sige, kunin nyo class sa sa Excel or sa calculator, kunin nyo naman wag log but ln. Sa Excel class, ln ang kunin nyo. Paki-chat please. ln of 58. There. Okay? So tama, no? Tama. Sa math kasi class, to distinguish between log, which is base 10, and ln, which is base e, no? Sa R kasi walang ln, no? Yan, ln. Error siya, no? Walang function na ln sa R. Instead, they use log. And ang ginagamit nila, ang default is that the log will have, ang default niya is e to the first power, no? exp, e to the first power. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, if I run this class, no? Log 58 exp to the first power. What do you get? What are you getting? Okay, 4.06, no? Yan, 4.06. So, now we have established class that pag naglo-log tayo sa R, okay, you don't need to define na ang base nito is E, no? Kasi yan ang default niya. Okay, by the way, what's E? What's the equivalent value of E? Class, exponential number. Are you familiar with Euler's number, class? Familiar ba kayo dyan? Euler's number? Have you ever heard of Euler's number, class? Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Thank you. So Euler's number is 2.71828. Saan ginagamit yung Euler's number, class? Have you ever heard of the golden number? The golden ratio. Yes, thank you, Glenn. Natural log, no? Have you ever heard of the golden ratio? So anyway, hindi naman yun ang topic natin, pero it's something worth researching on, no? Maraming in nature, maraming things occur with that ratio, no? And very prominent yan yung value ni E. So si E, class, if you want to get the value of E, that's E to the first power. No? E number, letter E to the first power, or just E, and that's at ayaw. Ay, wait. Sorry Naghihintay siya mag-close tong mag-close tong, notice class, tinype ko Euler's number, nag-green siya, no? Tapos, space ako, exp1, green pa rin siya. It means that it's still waiting for the quote, the apostrophe to be closed. Kaya, nag-plus dito, ibig sabihin, hindi pa tapos yung code ko. May pending pa na nakabukas pa rin yung apostrophe. So let me remove this apostrophe. Okay? Yun, nag-white na siya, no? Tapos ito nag-white na rin. So I can now run this. Control Enter. What happened? Delete ko nga to. Plus pa rin. Bakit? May naka-pending sa akin. Ano naka-pending? Itong LN? Nagpa-plus siya, oh. Ibig sabihin, okay, anyway, class, I can't decipher kung bakit wala naman ako naka-pending na. Okay, anyway, class, so I just wanted to explain yung difference ng log sa R at saka log sa sa Excel. I don't know why it's nagpa-plus siya, ibig sabihin may naka-pending ako na code. Oh, tingnan nyo. Okay, anyway, that's not really worth deciphering what happened. So let's go back here, class. Dito na tayo sa our our markdown. So again, this is for the benefit of those of you who are using R for the first time. Again, those of you who were my students before, please be patient, no? So we can meet halfway with the new students. Okay. So when we opened our markdown, notice class na merong text kagad, no? May default text. Okay. So notice dito may code chunk. Okay. When you write a code in an R markdown, you should have this. You should write your code in a code chunk. Okay? So it starts with a backtick. So gawa tayo, class, no? Gawa tayo. So you know where the backtick is? Nasa upper left siya. doon sa taas ng tab, below the escape, no? Yan, backticks. And you notice that when you do the backtick, nag-orange siya, enter, enter, and another backtick to close your code chunk. Okay? So here I can write, okay, notice that when I write now, the bracket here, the curly brackets, yan, nag-color na tong ano natin, no? Ito na yung, ano, ito na yung complete components of a code chunk. Okay? So you notice that itong open and close brackets, itong forward ticks, okay, itong dalawang forward ticks at saka above and below, ito na yung magko-complete ng isang code chunk. You notice the coloration here, no? Medyo nag-gray out siya. Okay? Now what's inside here? This one class is the name of your code chunk. Okay? Imagine ang dami-dami nating code na sinulat na. So it will be insightful if you give a particular code chunk a name. Okay? Kasi kung marami na masyado yan, paano mo hahanapin? Kunwari more than 1,000 yan. You'll have to scroll down, di ba? Ang hirap hanapin nun. So ito class, ang pangalan nitong code chunk na to, R setup. And then comma, tapos may code siya dito. May instructions dito. No? Let's go down below here. Andito naman, ang pangalan niya, cars, di ba? Tapos ito naman, ang pangalan niya, pressure. Tapos, echo is equal to false. We'll learn what this means. Include is equal to false, echo is equal to false as we go along. Okay. So, anong gamit ng class? Anong gamit yan? So, ito mga code chunk natin class, ito yung, these are the names of your code chunks. You notice below here, class, kita nyo ito? Chunk 1, nakalagay setup. Ito yung first chunk natin, setup ang pangalan niya. If I click here, diba, yun no? These are the code chunks that I have. Yan. Okay. So meron ditong intro to multiple linear regression. Tapos chunk 1. Si chunk 1 ang pangalan setup. Tapos ito, R markdown. Tapos may chunk 2 dito ang pangalan cars. Diba? Ito yung pinakita ko kanina, cars ang pangalan. Tapos including plots. Tapos chunk 3 ang pangalan pressure. So what are these class? What are these? This is the advantage of using an R markdown. No? Kasi, okay, it gives us yung mga headers, no? Yung mga headers ng file natin. Okay, the title of our file is Intro to Multiple Linear Regression. And once again, if we click this, yan, yun yung title class. No? Intro to Multiple Linear Regression. And then under it, you have the first code chunk. Diba? Ito, yan. That's the first code chunk. Set up yung pangalan. Diba? So under this main title, Intro to Multiple Linear Regression, andyan si setup. And then if we go here below, lagyan natin to ng ano, ng R. No? R, tapos trial lang. Okay? So you notice class, nagka-chunk to na dito, R trial. So you first write R and then the name of the chunk, code chunk. Okay? So this is very helpful. It's helpful in creating an efficient R markdown file. Okay? So below, R markdown. Saan tong R markdown na to? You notice class ito, may dalawa akong hashtag na ginamit dito. Hashtag. I mean the default, no? Hindi ako gumamit. And then R markdown. In R class, yung mga hashtag na yan, it refers to outlines. Outlines. So two hashtags means ang pinaka main outline is yung single hashtag. So if I put here, for example, maglagay lang tayo dito ng sample RMD. Sample RMD. Okay. If you take a look at this, yan, nakita nyo, one hashtag, no? One hashtag. So you notice, class, pag isang hashtag, siya yung pinaka-main na, how do you call it? Main outline, no? Yung two, class, falls under the first one, R markdown. So I hope you noticed it, no? Ito, one hashtag, tapos ito, dalawa. I can insert another one. Trial again. Okay. Yan. Sample R markdown trial. Okay. Now, what's the importance of this? Later on, when you print this class, especially when you print it to PDF or when you print it to an HTML file, yung outline na yan, masusunod dyan, class. So it makes creating a printed document very easy. Okay. Ito yung mga tools na magagamit natin with an RMD document. And of course, R has developed over the years. R Studio has developed over the years. In fact, ang pinakabago niya niyan yung kwarto na, no? Ito na yung leveling up ng R Markdown. Mas modern na si kwarto document. Subukan lang natin, class, magbukas ng kwarto document. So I'm opening a kwarto document. Okay, untitled ko na lang, create. Okay. Okay. You can now see, class, how a kwarto document looks like. Mas maganda yung interface niya, mas madaling i-manipulate to, mas madaling gamitin. But for our purposes, we'll use first our markdown. But in the course of the subject, I hope we navigate through a kwarto document. R din siya, actually, R markdown siya. Kaso mas mas maganda na yung features. Okay? But for now, let's make use of these RMD. Okay. All right. So, any questions so far, class? Yung mga nuts and bolts itong R markdown file natin. Okay, let me reverse the question. Clear so far ba? Clear so far. Thank you. Okay, for those who are using R for the first time, just soak it in, class, no? And as you go along, I'm sure you will gain expertise and you'll gain a better command of R. It will take a bit of time, pero ang suggestion ko, i-practice niyo talaga, no? Practice niyo din. Do not just open your RMD file during class. Outside of class, aralin nyo rin, i-practice nyo para explore. And sa dami-dami ng tutorials, class, sa internet, sa YouTube, pwede kayo makapag-advance. No? There's no reason why you should not be advancing. Okay. Now, so ito yung code chunk, di ba, class? Okay. So you write your code inside the code chunk. So ito, class, this is a code chunk also. Andiyan kasi yung post bracket R and then the name cars. Now take note, this is the code. Summary cars. Ano kaya to? And how do you run this code chunk? Okay. So if you have this code chunk, okay, before I run the code chunk, you notice also here na makikita nyo rin dito yung outline. Okay. So ang pinaka-outline natin, nag-create tayo ng number 1, yung sample RMD. And then under that is R markdown, under that is trial, and then ito yung including plots, yung dalawang hashtag. So nakapasok dito yung lahat ng mga hashtags natin, no? Yung pinasok natin, sample RMD, RMD markdown, trial, and itong including plots na to, yung dalawa here, no? So lahat siya andi dito. And of course, if you want to hide this for a while kasi gagamitin yung buong space na to, you can just click this. If you want to see again kung ano na yung laman ng RMD file nyo, click nyo lang ulit. Yan, lalabas yan. Okay? So you can see here a ready reference to your outline. All right. Now, going back to how we run the code chunk, okay? By the way, for those who maybe my pronunciation was not clear, it's called code chunk, no? Code chunk siya, which means that you can create several codes in this chunk, okay? All right. So ito class, R pressure, and then meron ditong echo is equal to false. Now, what does echo is equal to false mean? Now, echo is equal to false means that when you later print this, okay, when you print this, kasi pwede natin i-print to itong file na to, no? Hindi lalabas yung result na to dun sa printout pag linagay nyo echo is equal to false. So, pag wala ito class, pag wala yan, syempre, ang default is equal to, okay, I deleted that. When you print this, lalabas yung result ng code na to sa printout nyo, sa printout document. Okay? But if you don't want this output to be printed, sorry. Okay? You write echo is equal to false. Okay. Now, going back to my question, how do we run this? So, pwede kasing pwedeng okay, hindi lang ganyan. O yung kanina class log of okay, kunyari ganito, no? So here you have two codes, no? Yung plot pressure at saka log 100. Okay, you can run both. Okay, you can run both just by highlighting and then control enter. Okay, ano nangyari? What happened? Saan ko ba nalagay yun? Ito, class. Ulitin ko So I highlight both. Control enter. Ayan, nag-run na siya. No? Okay. What run, class? Yung dalawang codes dyan. No? Una, summary ng cars. Tsaka pangalawa, yung log ng 100. Okay. So how did and notice class that lumabas siya sa console. No? The result also appeared in the console. Linagay yung code summary cars and then log ng 100. Okay, ano tong cars na to? Okay, as we use more R, you will learn that there are many data sets that are loaded with R. Cars is one of them. So this is a data set that is already loaded with R. Okay, so yung cars dataset na yan, class, may dalawang variables, speed and distance. So when we run this summary ng cars, okay, the cars is a dataset that contains two variables, summary and speed and distance. So hinanap niya yung minimum value, first quartile, median, mean, third quartile, and the maximum. Okay, hinanap niya yung mga number summaries ng data set na yan, na cars. And then kinuha din niya yung log ng 100. Andi dito. Okay. Question, class? Did you make it run? Paki-chat naman kung na-run nyo, class. Ngayon lang tong medyo mabagal tayo, class, pero as we go along, mag-accelerate yung speed natin, no? Okay, good. Good, thank you. All right. So, if I want to remove the, notice class, this is another difference dun sa R script natin, di ba? Sa R script, hindi lumalabas yung result dito sa script window. Dito sa R Markdown, yung result lumalabas sa ano natin, sa script window mismo, sa source window natin. So if I delete this, if I cross this out, okay, and then another way to run this is just click this. Ito, run current chunk. Or another way is to click this, itong run na to. Dito may several options tayo. Run selected lines, run current chunk, run next chunk, etc. Run all chunks above, run all chunks below. If there are instances where you would want this, then you can do that. No? Kung anong chunk ang gusto mong i-run. If I only want to run this specific code chunk, then I can just click this. Click natin. Okay, and then same thing. Rinan niya yung current code chunk. Okay. All right. Then one good thing about R, dito ko pala nalagay kanina, no? Okay. One good thing about R is that R is very powerful as far as data visualization is concerned. Okay. Here you have another data set that comes prepackaged with R, pressure. Pwede natin ipa-plot siya. Okay. So i-plot natin to, i-run natin. Okay. So this is your plot. Diba? Naka-plot siya, no? So on the x-axis is your temperature, on the y-axis is your pressure. Okay, now let's try to do one thing. Let's now remove this. So ibig sabihin yan, echo is equal to true yan. What does that mean? Hindi kasi natin linagay echo is equal to false. So ang default niyan, true. Which means that when we knit this file, ang ibig sabihin class ng knit, R will convert this file using a certain process. Tapos, ipiprint niya in a way that we want it printed. No? Okay, so let's do that para at least may taste na tayo kung paano mag-knit ng file. Alright? So you can see here, nakikita nyo itong knit class. Okay, if you click this knit, there. Meron tayong knit to HTML. It means it will create an HTML file. Okay, knit to PDF, knit to Word. Tapos may iba pa dito, no? You can knit to PDF, but let's not do that now. Knit to Word. Okay? So, yung mga cases yung class, ininit nyo sa HTML at saka sa PDF, no? So, let's knit it first to HTML. Knit natin to HTML. Okay? So, magtatanong siya, anong file name ba ang gusto nyo, no? Ang gusto mo. So, dito, nag-default siya sa if we place this in an R project, dun siya magdi-default. No? Okay, apparently hindi ko siya nalagay sa R project. So dito ko na lang ilalagay siya sa desktop kanina. Saan ko ba siya pinasok kanina? Dito na lang. No? Dito. Tapos file name trial1 na lang. So dito ko siya pinasok sa FINARTS term 1. Okay? Save. Okay, notice class that it will start processing the knitting. Okay. So minsan magkakaroon ng error, no? So sabi dito for example, error, there is no package called fastmap. Okay? Pag ganyan class, you will have to install this package. Okay? Ba't kaya nagkaroon ng problem na ganito? But anyway, so hindi pa natin na-discuss kasi kung paano mag-install ng package. No? So I'll let me pause for a while. Meron ba sa inyong class nakapag ano? Meron ba sa inyo nakapag-generate ng HTML file? Anyone please? Especially my previous students. Okay, si Queen na nakapag-generate. Who else? Okay, most of you, no? Very good. Very good. Ako yung hindi, nagka-problema yung R ko. Okay, could you please tell me kung yung na-generate na HTML file, merong plot ng pressure? Yes or no? Okay, yes, no? Yes. Okay, good. Now, if had we inserted class, had we inserted here echo is equal to false, and then you needed the file, hindi mag-a-appear dito yun. Hindi siya mag-a-appear. Itong plot na to. Kasi echo is equal to false, ibig sabihin yan, yung result ng code dapat hindi lalabas dun sa printed output. It can be your HTML file or your needed file. Okay? All right. So, okay, I want to start introducing our first lesson, which is introduction to regression. Okay, now I want you now to create a new RMD file. Ano ba ang title? Nag-create na tayo, no? Tapos ang title nyo, Introduction to Multiple Linear Regression, di ba? Hindi pa class. Kasi, when you created an RMD file, itong lumabas, di ba? So, what you can do is just remove yung mga ginawa natin. You can just delete them. Or you may just create na lang ng panibagong RMD file class, no? And name it in any way you want. Okay? Or you can sabagay hindi nyo pa naman nasi-save itong kanina, no? So you can name it Introduction to Multiple Regression, and then lalabas yung usual na na default, which is yung summary cars, yung pressure, and then what I want you to do is just delete that, no? I-delete nyo na lang yung default dito. Delete everything. Okay? That leaves you within an empty RMD file now. Okay, kindly chat if you were able to create one RMD, ang title niya, Intro to Multiple Linear Regression, tapos wala siyang laman. Except for this setup code chunk. Okay, good, thank you. We have about 5 to 10 minutes to at least to start the introduction. Okay, thank you. All right. So most as a start, I'm not going to give you the RMD file. I want you to be writing the code yourself, except for some text like this. Okay, so let me just put this in the chat box. Kaya ba? Minsan pag marami hindi kaya eh. Their class. All right. So shinare ko sa inyo yung text dito, no? And let's start discussing this. So we're creating now a new RMD file and it will contain our lesson on Introduction to Multiple Linear Regression. I'm sure you have met the term multiple linear regression in your previous subject, in particular the analytic. You've met multiple regression. And I'm sure you know that it's a statistical technique where you make use of several explanatory variables or independent variables in order to explain your independent variable, your outcome variable or your response variable, your DV. And what's the main objective of a multiple linear regression model? It is to establish the relationship between your dependent variable and your independent variable. Establish a linear relationship between your explanatory variables, your IVs, and your response variable, your DV. Okay? So multiple linear regression makes use of a method called least squares or ordinary least squares. Okay? So I refer you to this reference. Let me just show this for the formula. Okay, I'm sorry. So this is the reference for writing equations in, okay, not for the formula of linear regression, but okay, the reference here, class, is the writing of, okay, I want to explain this now because I'm going to share this with you first. Okay, I thought I got lost. Okay, pakicopy nyo muna, class, ito. I'll explain this, of course, not now kasi medyo mahaba to, no? But in the next meeting, my students before are already familiar with this. Okay? So you have here a dollar, dollar, and then you have some strange text here. Some strange text and then a dollar, dollar. Okay, and then at the end of the dollar sign, okay, nagkaka-error ako. May problem yung, sorry, may problem yung R ko ngayon, no? Ayan, okay. All right, are you getting this, class? Paki-chat naman please kung nakuha niyo yung equations na yan. Okay, thank you. Good. All right. Okay. So you notice, class, that I wrote these equations. Okay, these are very clear to understand, di ba? Using this is not a code chunk technically kasi hindi naman siya nagsimula ng backticks, di ba? It starts with $2 signs and then end with $2 sign. Okay, so this is written in a language called LaTeX. Okay, LaTeX is a very powerful method to write mathematical or mathematical equations. Okay, I will not discuss this now. We will discuss this as we go along. It's almost time. But let me just point out, class, na, for example, itong beta na to, how was this written? Itong beta na to, class, ito yun, no? Kita nyo to? Okay. Let me create another one here. Dollar, 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 dollar. Okay, if I want to write beta 0, class, beta subscript 0, /, and then beta, sorry, small letter beta, _0. Yan, class, di ba? Kita nyo, yun, no? beta underscore 0. Ito yon. Yan. Okay? How about this? Beta 1 xi sub 1. Ito siya, plus. Okay? Here. Ito yung beta sub 0 plus beta 1, beta underscore 1, x underscore I1. Tingnan nyo, class. Copy natin to dito sa ilalim. Okay. Okay, tingnan nyo, class, no? Naglagay ako ng dalawa dito. It means that end na yan ng line, no? Itong dalawang forward slash dito, it means end of the line. So, it went on to the next line. Yan. Beta 1 class. So you start with the slash here, beta underscore 1, and then here is x, x underscore, dalawa yung subscript niya, I at saka 1. If there are two subscripts, ilalagay nyo sa parenthesis I1. Okay, so so much to cover, class, so much to study. I would that you take a look at this class. Binigay ko naman yung aralin nyo kung paano nangyari to. Kasi gagamitin nyo to, class, when you're writing now your case, kailangan ganito yung mga equations nyo. Hindi pa pwedeng isusulat nyo lang ng basta-basta. So there are rules, okay, in writing equations when you're using R. All right, so let me just briefly read through this. Yung regression assumptions. Okay. So bigay ko na to. So we'll see. I can't give it all at the same time kasi bisa rin-reject ni. Okay, so let me give the first paragraphs. Okay, and then this one. Ito kung kakasya. Hanggang at least 5. And then we continue with this next meeting. Too long. Okay, hanggang dyan lang muna, no, class. So what I gave was first two assumptions. All right, as I said, class, in-explain ko naman na kasi maaga tayo nag-dismiss last time. Babawiin ko lang by 5 minutes yung na-dismiss natin na maaga. All right, so let's stop here, class. Let me stop recording.